Hello everyone, this is Donnie, aka Elevated with DotaAlchemy.com, and this is another Dota 2 video for you today. This point, the transition from laning stage to mid and late game is one of the most difficult things to really understand what to do. It's pretty straightforward once you get an idea for it, but it takes a little bit of practice and actually like critically looking at the map and figuring out what you need to do next. But basically, what happens is once the laning stage breaks down, you need to have some direction. And most people just don't have any direction. They wait for maybe their teammates or for the creeps to give them direction. But you actually can manipulate the direction that the game is going by focusing on something. And a lot of people just kind of like, okay, laning stage is over. Now I need to get these items. And that's my objective, is to get these items. But items really shouldn't be an objective unless it's like a game-changing item, such as a Blink Dagger on a Earthshaker or a BKB on, I don't know, a Dragonite or Terrorblade or something like that. Most of the time, the objective should be an actual objective that opens up the map, that gives you more map control, that provides you with sort of maybe a staging platform or a stepping stone to actually ending the game. And so we're going to look at this replay real quick because I want to actually highlight how we're accomplishing that, because I think that is a really important part to understand and something that a lot of people can probably immediately improve their game from, which is that once the laning stage breaks down, and that laning stage breakdown can happen at really any point. But right now, okay, so if we have it on free camera, you can see we're in the laning stage. None of the towers are going down. All the lanes are where they should be. It's like 3 minutes into the game. 10 minutes into the game, laning stage kind of starting to break down, but it's still kind of the laning stage just because it's very, very static at lower MMR. It gets less static the higher you go. The game happens faster. Everything happens faster. But right now, we're kind of still in the laning stage. So if we want to break out of the laning stage, we need to do something like this. So I rotated from here up to the top lane just because I couldn't really continue to just run into this Brewmaster techies over and over and over. So I want to actually push the game towards a conclusion. And so what I do is I say, okay, I'm not going to really get anything out of this bottom lane anymore. I can't really protect my drow. I can't really protect myself. So I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to TP to the top lane, and I'm going to go drop wards on this tower. So that's what we do. Okay, now this objective is claimed by me. As a result, once this tower dies, we suddenly have access to this whole part of their jungle as well. They don't have a way to TP in behind us. So once this tower goes down, we now need to decide what is our next objective. It could be this. That's a little bit deep though, because behind a shrine, we're only level 7. So we don't really want to just be solo pushing this tower. So the next objective that makes a lot of sense is either going to be this tower or it's going to be this tower, because they're farther out. They provide us more map control when we take them. But they're also pretty simple to get just because they're not like very well protected. This one, however, is a little bit too well protected for my liking because there are a bunch of techies mines. I don't know where these are in my game, but there's a shit ton of techies mines around here. So we don't really want to be playing around this area just because we know techies has spent a lot of his time down here. So the next easiest objective to claim is going to be the mid lane. What does the mid tower give us? It gives us access to their jungle, and it basically gives us entire access to their jungle since we already took the tier 1 tower top, and the only tower remaining is tier 2, which is far out of their jungle. I mean, sure, they can TP to the shrine, but they don't have any vision here, so it's not really a good control point for them. So what do? We rotate to the mid lane. We start pushing out the mid wave. And as a result, we're going to end up dropping wards on this tower. So now we've gone from the top lane to claim this objective. We've now claimed the mid tower. And then from here, we're going to have to decide what to do next. So we grab that. And this is where things get a little bit more difficult. Most people can make this transition from one tier 1 to one tier 1 and then another tier 1. But when it comes to getting tier 2s, that's where things get a little more difficult. Okay, so we have the tier 1 mid, we have the tier 1 top. So now we actually need to decide what to do next. Do we want to go bottom? Maybe. It would be nice to take this tower, but it's really not that important because ultimately our next objective is to figure out how we want to actually push high ground. And to do that, we need to actually take out these tier 2 towers. So tier 2 towers are the next objective, and in some cases, the next objective is Roshan. So basically, we need to figure out how to control this area, and it is not walking into a techie's mine. Rip me. But what it is good at, or what I should be doing here, and you can see, I really just don't even consider going bottom ever, because this tower does not matter. If you want to take BSJ's terminology, this is the dead lane. There's a bunch of techies mines. We don't want to go here at all. Taking these towers is okay, but it's really not that important. So we're going to smoke to the mid lane. We're going to try and get a kill. We end up feeding away kills, but we take a decent fight. Kill their Slurk. But basically, the whole reason I'm going mid is because I actually want to kill this tower and I want to kill this tower. So you can see I basically just don't even go to the bottom lane ever again for the rest of the game until these other towers are gone. But what we do is we get wards here, place this ward, and we place this ward. And these wards allow us to actually pressure this tower because we can see when they TP to this shrine and when they TP to this shrine and try and reinforce. So we're basically setting up ourselves to take this tower by placing these 2 wards. We don't really give a shit about down here, so we're just warding here and we're warding here so we can take this tower. This ward also helps us take this tower because it gives us some kind of sense of where people are. Same with this ward. Like, if we see a bunch of heroes here because of this ward, then we know that we can take this tower because it takes them a while to get all the way up here. So basically, we place those wards, and then we place this ward, and then we come up here to the top lane, and we take a pretty mediocre fight. But the point is that we're pressuring this tower. We're kind of doing things systematically. We end up dying, but we end up also winning this fight, and now this tower is also toast. So basically, we've created a formula for this game, which is we take tier 1s, we open up their jungle, then we ward to selectively take tier 2s, and once the tier 2s are down, it's very easy to go high ground. As far as actually going high ground is the hardest part of this game at the moment, and it really just depends on a couple different factors. We've kind of talked about it before, and I made videos about it before, but basically, you know, it's done by achieving 1 or 2 different scenarios. Either the entire team is dead, or you have a overwhelming net worth advantage to the point, or plus an Aegis where you can't be stopped when you go high ground by an entire enemy team. So in this case, we actually end up just taking a fight here mid. You know, I'm saying, hey guys, we can take Rosh whenever. You heard me doing that during the game. Hey guys, we can take Rosh. But again, I gotta point to these wards. This ward, setting us up to actually be able to do stuff. We take a fight, we kill the Invoker, we kill the Slurk, we kill the Pudge, that's 3 dead. And frankly, we don't even care if they have buyback because they're dead. And we have an opportunity. This guy's in dragon form right now. I have wards because we didn't use wards for this fight, but we took a fight on our way towards their side of the map, which means that we already have momentum. We have the creep wave walking towards their side of the map, which means we don't need to wait to push out the creep wave. We can just immediately transition from a fight to high ground. And because we have the resources to do so in the GK Dragon form and the wards, it becomes a very, very easy set of racks. So how do we actually get to this point? If we go back to look at this fight, it's because of this ward and this ward, right? We saw the Invoker coming over here, I think, how this ended up getting set up. Yeah, so we see the Invoker coming over here. We smoke to kill the Invoker. Again, it's the fucking wards setting up the next staging platform for us to actually win this game. So this is where a lot of support players fail at their job. Basically, the laning stage ends. They're very content, you know, warding here, warding like along the river. But once it gets scary to actually place wards, they end up just continuing to ward in kind of these like very simple, kind of defensive, not very aggressive spots. Maybe they'll ward here. Maybe they get a ward up here, but usually not. But I am smoking myself to place this ward. I am pushing the wave out, and once the wave is pushed up to like right here, it's very safe for me to place a ward here, 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 because there's less chance that they have vision there. And essentially what happens is this ward and this ward ends up winning us this game because we see the Invoker, we end up catching him, it forces them into a bad fight where we have high ground and they don't have all of their heroes here. Gives us these 3 really important key kills, and then it ends up being a set of racks as a result. So Basically, that's what you have to do as a support if you are finding yourself stalling out in a game, is you need to say, okay, what is the next objective? How do we actually take it? How do I get vision there? And usually the answer is you just smoke yourself solo and you go place a couple wards on their shrine so you can see where the other team is and where they're coming in from to reinforce. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching the video. We genuinely appreciate your time and attention spent with us here on the YouTube channel. Please check out DotaAlchemy.com if you're looking for a way to let this channel continue to put out as much content as possible. We love you guys, and we will see you in the next video.